Quick show of hands. How many of you have been asked your salary history during a job interview? Yeah, Me too. More than once, and it took a toll on my earnings and probably on yours too. What would you do with another $350,000 in the bank? Yeah. Buy a home or vacation home, pay for your kids' college tuition. You see, conservatively, I've calculated that $350K is what I don't have in my bank account because of employers requiring me to share my salary history. And unfortunately, that's just the raw dollars, not including whatever gains it might have made if I'd invested those dollars. Throughout my 30-year career in sales and marketing in the tech world, there were moments that negatively affected my earnings, both in the short term while dragging down my long-term earnings too. Early in my sales career, a lucrative sales territory I'd built from the ground up was stripped from me and gifted to a male colleague because he had a family to support. It killed my earnings that quarter, and it continued to follow me throughout my career. That initial blow stuck. When promoted from that position to later upper middle management roles in the same company, I was making 15% or more less than my male colleagues. When I went to new companies, they asked my salary history and offered me less because of that ding that dragged my salary down. Later in my career, I took risks with working for entrepreneurial and startup companies, and mostly my earnings were only partly in salary and mostly in a share of the company itself. Yet at one point, when I considered stepping back into the corporate world, they only wanted to know my salary. They didn't care that I'd created sales and marketing organizations that doubled revenue year over year. Instead, they offered me compensation that grossly underestimated my value and worth. They wanted my entrepreneurial skills, but not to pay me properly. I chose not to go back. I am one of the lucky ones. For the past 8 years, I've worked for a great guy at a fabulous digital agency. At the age of 31, he hired me and paid me for the value that I brought to the table. Never asked me how much I had earned and what I made in the past, and he didn't care. I can never get back what I lost before joining Monday Loves You, but this is why I've volunteered for almost 2 decades with Women Employed. The work we do has real-life impact on other women and their families. Please help us continue this work with your support today. We cannot do this work without you. Thank you very much.